Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new series at Women Lines Domestic Violence. What do you all feel when you hear this word? Throughout COVID period, there were reports about various data how certain section of women folk globally are severely affected physically, mentally, financially, worldwide. At Women Lines, our vision is to empower women globally, but all knowledge, talks, and other things are waste if she has to constantly face domestic violence in her life. We are starting a new series, Speak Up for Domestic Violence, particularly as October is a month declared especially to raise awareness against domestic violence. Our intention is to empower ladies to empower themselves to speak. We want to seek the attention of the right authorities to take required steps. And we want to ask you, or rather make you, think what you can do in your capacity. In the first episode, we take pleasure to welcome Dr. Bolini Kirti from India. Dr. Kirti is president at Basavya Mandali NGO based in South India. She is hailing from a Gandhian family. She has about 40 years experience as a professional in the social development section, working with women and children. She is a Talk speaker of UN Women and recently spoke at USALA chapter in Champions of Change in the Era of Equality. Dr. Kirti is currently running a petition campaign which is focusing on all those women in India who have dared to take divorce but are finding so challenging to survive as they are not able to receive maintenance. It is such an honor to welcome Dr. Kirti to the show.
Namaste.
Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Kirti. So yes, Dr. Kirti, please share about yourself and what got you to work specially for women who are facing domestic violence. Please share.
Like all other women, me too have also faced domestic violence.
Okay.
And let me go through my childhood. It's very joyful and very happy. And at the same time, in my family, we are grown up boys and girls equally.
Yeah.
So once I got married after my post-graduation, and after 8 years of marriage, at the age of 28, my husband was killed in a road accident.
Oh.
So that made me a kind of a devastation in life, and also keep the things in blank. Okay, what to do? But the only hope I have in my life that time is that my daughter is alive, who is about 4 years old. Then I thought that for the sake of my daughter, I should be alive. Then, after 20 months of my husband's death, my daughter too passed away, as she has just 3 days of high fever, and she passed away.
So sad.
Doctors made all their efforts, but even then could not survive her. Then I thought that she always used to tell, Amma, when I passed away, donate my eyes. So she doesn't know what in my death, but as we are all doing eye donation, she used to repeatedly tell that, give my eyes to blind. So executed her wish and donated her eyes. And now my daughter is living in 894 people, and we established an eye bank.
Wonderful. So
So
inspirational.
what I learned in my life is, even though our light is fading away from our life, but lit the light of others and give a life for others and make them productive. And then after that, I had been to Canada and did my further studies on social development, because I'm a gold medalist in my post-graduation in Andhra University. Then I moved there and I had my further education. And then at the age of again 36 years, I got a second marriage.
Okay.
It is of my parents' choice, and I went into the marriage. Then I faced severe domestic violence for 7 years.
Oh.
So, as though I am a social development professional, but I faced severe domestic violence, physical abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse, and sexual abuse.
Too much.
So I'm not an exemption from any other woman. Like all others, I faced it.
You have faced it in reality. So that was
Yeah, why I could not come out is, one is my parents have seen me at a very young age as a widow, facing all the shame and guilt as a widow in India. And at the same time, as I got married second time, it's a kind of a happiness I have seen among my parents. So I thought that I should make it a success. So I counseled him for 7 years.
Mhm.
I don't say that I am defeated, but he was defeated. He could not get into the positive spirit. So that's why I thought that I should put a full stop there with the divorce.
Okay.
Because in the society, many women, why they never come out of this domestic violence is they're succumbing to it. Because in the society also, they think that if they come out, they don't have any kind of a respect, and the single woman cannot survive.
Yeah, that negative aspects are associated, and it is just preventing all women to take such step. But yes, it is such an important step in life if you really want to move ahead. So fantastic! I will congratulate you. That
Yeah. So then every time in my life, in the tragedies or in these calamities, it's always strikes to me, what next?
correct.
That made me to move, and I did my further studies in INSEAD Business School in public-private partnership, and then did my registered for PhD.
Wonderful. That's inspiring. Definitely.
I always tell to all the women that I too have faced all the ups and downs in life. But what made me to go ahead is, one is a kind of a confidence in me built that made me to go. And at the same time, the society also should stand as a support, especially in family and friends.
Very true. Very
Any
important.
woman want to, yeah, if any woman want to come out of this violence, parents should encourage them. Yes, you come out of the violence.
Support
Yes,
has
you
to
live
be-
independently.
Definitely.
Today morning also, I have received a call from Bangalore,
Mm-hmm.
and she is a engineering graduate, and she is facing severe violence since last 8-9 years from her husband. Financial, physical, emotional, and sexual violence.
My goodness.
Then she told that, why you didn't stay with parents? She told that, all my relatives told, once you got married, you shouldn't stay with the parents. You should go and stay with the husband only.
Yes, that norm is, I mean, people are not ready to change, and that has to change. So how you advised her?
Yeah, then I told her, then what kind of skills do you have? And then she told that, when my child is like a baby, nearby my house, there is a beautician training center. So I went to the training center. So now I have a beautician training. So I am starting a beauty parlor in my own house. And I told her, there itself you stay there and you fight there. And whatever the support you required with the police and the other service providers, I'll see that they will connect to you.
Wonderful.
And provide you timely support. That is very much required. Because many a times, what is happening in the society is, if a woman is facing a problem, if they just take a call and do some others, they are not responding to them to support them. They are taking a back step.
Okay.
So that is making the woman to be isolated and unable to respond.
Very true.
So in my own life, where I have seen that the number of ups and downs and bumps,
Mm-hmm.
all those things, I do have faced the violence from my in-laws also. So that made me, let me commit myself, make other women
Strong.
to be, I don't say happy, to be courageous and to live with dignity and respect.
Fantastic. This is inspirational, and I'm sure this journey must have motivated you to help more and more women across, because so many cases are getting reported across and domestic violence is getting such a worrisome issue. So definitely we'd love to know more. Like, what is the main reason you think this domestic violence is happening? And can you share some facts? What's actually happening?
In India, among every 3 women, one is facing the domestic violence. It
That's
is so alarming,
so alarming, definitely.
which we heard in 2019, these figures are.
I'm sure
But
2020 must be higher.
during the COVID 2020, as per the National Commission for Women,
Mm.
and this became a tenfold increase in domestic violence.
I'm sure. So,
Only in the months of March 22nd, when the lockdown has started, for about 2 months, the calls which received for the National Women Commission,
Mhm.
which is an authenticative institution of India,
Mhm.
has received tenfold increase in the calls of the domestic violence.
Only in March.
Why it is? Yeah, only 2 months. So they told that the number of increase in the calls, even we also have started a telecounseling during this COVID time, during lockdown.
Mhm.
And what we have seen, generally the domestic violence reasons for one is it is there from a long time, but the trends are changed.
Okay.
Now the women are getting educated
I think that's important.
and they are knowing,
Yeah.
to an extent. I don't say that they are knowing everything, but they are knowing a bit about the rights and the laws.
Mhm.
And then in some cases, the governments are also supporting the issues with the different service providers.
Mm.
This gives a kind of confidence. But the other side, what we can say is the women are coming up with regard to education, with regard to confidence levels and all those things.
Very true.
But the men patriarchal attitudes are at the same level. There is no change in the patriarchal attitude. So there comes the clash.
And the conflict happens.
Because previously they used to succumb with the circumstances because they're illiterate and they don't have an exposure and all those things. And the one more thing which we are seeing nowadays is the girls, once they get educated and after the marriage, they just withdraw from the job and see that the marriage itself will give them everything. And sometimes even during the pregnancy, that continues because they don't have a support system in the nuclear families.
Very true.
That is a big thing which is leading the woman to face more violence because the husbands are doing a physical and emotional violence, which is making them a kind of a depression and suicidal tendencies, and the mental well-being is being so much obstructed for their growth. And also the woman to come out of the home is also children. So how does she care for the children in such circumstances?
Very true. So many
all
things are there.
And at the same time, if she behaves with depression and all those things, the immediate thing, the reaction is she is mental. Because there is a taboo in India for the mental health. So that's why they keep that she is a mental.
They don't accept it.
They tell that this is the reason she is not behaving. She is reacting over.
Very true.
And sometimes the cheating in the marriages is also an increase.
That's another issue. Definitely, that's a big issue.
There's no truth at all. So that's why they are tell one thing at the time of the marriage, but when it comes to the reality, it is all different.
Very true. There has to be awareness in all segments, not only women. I think men's section needs that counseling, that they have to be prepared for different women in present era, and they should be open-mindedness should be there in them so that they can accept the facts, and they should be ready to adjust, and they should be openly accepting that new liberated women. I think the wave of empowered women which is coming along People are not able to accept it widely, and that's why such conflicts start, and then we have so many challenges. And as women folk is not empowered for speaking about herself, and she's not having the support system, we are having so many problems. So what do you think, what do you wish that in women folk, what change we can have in women folk which can encourage them to fight this domestic violence? What's the main one thing you would suggest?
Yeah, basically to fight for domestic violence, what the women require is a courage and braveness and build their confidence. Because women always think, undermine their skills, undermine their abilities. No, they have to find out their strengths and put them at the forefront. And the second thing, if they are facing domestic violence, they should have a preparedness also. They should prepare by keeping all their certificates, scan it and sending to their Google Docs or keep in the mails, and also the bank passbooks and bank transaction cards and all the ID cards. And also they should know the list of the service providers who can give. And also they should know the helplines to call them. So this makes to reduce the vulnerability.
Very true.
Instead of, they should know that call the police, dial 100. In India, we have a dial 100.
Yeah.
So dial 100. And the second thing is what I can suggest for all the women that are facing domestic violence or not, even to men also. If your neighbor, if you just hear screaming due to violence or the loud voice, go and knock the door or ring the bell.
Correct.
That is a great help where you can reduce the severity of the violence. Because once somebody came means the men will stop the violence.
That will itself be alarming to them that somebody is listening, somebody is observing. So it will definitely discourage them to act like that. So I'm sure this is a wonderful step by neighbors.
Because this doesn't cost anything. It's only the attitude and the behavior.
Mindfulness.
And the second thing is, and the next thing what I can suggest is, you see that somebody calls you that I'm facing like this, give them a positive vibes instead of telling them get adjusted.
Very true.
Because in Indian scenario or in many countries I have seen, you get adjusted with that scenario. That's not the thing. Ask them, because a person to hear to them are not there. So give an ear for others and listen to their agonies. That reduces their agony. If you yourselves are also an agonized woman, tell them that I am also like you. Then they think that, okay, I am not the only person who is facing domestic violence. Oh, like me, many more are there. And she has faced much more violence than me.
I think the support system can do wonders. And when we are having a group of such people who are sharing their stories and inspiring others that they have done something which has helped them to come out of things or to improve such situation, whatever. But speaking itself can bring a lot of change. So yes, friends, let's speak up against domestic violence, because it is something which is quite alarming and it is harming women folk. That too, it's happening across the globe. We are listening how it's happening in India, and from Dr. Kirti, we are understanding what's the present scenario and how the facts are there. So yes, it was such a pleasure to have Dr. Kirti in the first episode. We are looking forward to have her in the second episode and to know more about what exactly she is doing under her petition, which she is working upon currently. Thank you so much, Dr. Kirti, for your time today. See you next episode.
Yes.
Thanks so much for watching this episode, friends. Do share in your network and let's raise our voice against domestic violence. Thank you.